Alright, what's going on, guys? Try back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing a video talking about a viewer requested discussion topic, and that is people wanted to hear my thoughts on the whole if Daryl dies, we riot type thing. So this is something that people have been messaging me for every so often for about the last, I want to say, year, roughly. More so lately than before. I think it was in season 4 when, in the premiere, when we meet Daryl again or see him after the, season 3 to season 4 break. And you have Patrick, and, you get the idea that Daryl is like a celebrity within the group. I believe the actor who plays Patrick said in an interview that he was instructed to speak to Daryl as if he was meeting a celebrity or something of the sort, like he was starstruck, this kind of thing. I think they might have crossed the line a little bit there on the TV series with that kind of stuff. And a lot of people are just kind of not liking the whole worship of the character. I mean, you can find even t-shirts, you can find posters, you can find anything you want that'll say, just like I said, that slogan, if Daryl dies, we riot. Of course, meaning that if they kill Daryl off the show, these people will stop watching the show. Now, this is something that I'll see people in the comments will argue about back and forth. Somebody will say, if they kill off him and you stop watching the show, then you're not a fan of The Walking Dead. I don't know if I necessarily agree with that, but I do understand the point, because the thing is that at some point or another in the series, TV series, comic book series too, eventually they're going to kill off probably almost everybody. It's going to get really low in terms of the numbers of characters that are on, let's say season 10 or 15 if they get there, that are in there right now. So it's going to happen sooner or later. Now, because Daryl was one of the original characters in the TV series, and because he's unique to the TV series, I think he's going to stick around for a really, really long time. Mainly because there is not a version of him in the comic books, and it doesn't look like they're ever going to bring him into the comic books, either him or Merle, at least not from what we've seen. There was some things that happened in the comics that made us lead to believe, or we were led to believe, that maybe he was going to, come in. There was a character that uses a crossbow, and it ended up not being him. So he never appeared in the comic books, and it seems like he's never going to, probably. I would actually be surprised if he did appear in the comic book series. That said, he's a television-only character, which, you think when it's a television-only character that people like, that probably means they're kind of safe, at least for a long time, because, for example, if I had to go between who do I think they're going to kill off first, Michonne or Daryl, for example, right? I would say probably Michonne. The reason being is because we have Michonne in the comic book series. So I think it's more likely they would kill her off because we've seen so much of the same exact character pretty much in the comic books. There's really no differences from what we've seen so far of the TV series version and the comic book series version. So that said, I think it's more likely they kill off Michonne than they would Daryl because he's unique to the show. He's not in the books. So I do think that it's going to be a long time before they kill off Daryl. I really do. I don't think it'll be until, season like maybe 7 to 10, something like that. And then, it probably will be getting close, and eventually they'll probably do it. Or if Norman Reedus decides he doesn't want to do it anymore, one of the two, right? Whichever comes sooner, probably. But I do think eventually they will kill him off, I think. I just think it'll be way down the road, season 7, 10, anywhere up to maybe like 15 type thing. And somewhere in there, I think they'll probably axe him off eventually. But I mean, it's I guess it's normal that people would like a particular character for a particular reason. But I mean, they're going to kill off probably most of the characters in the show right now. Eventually, by the time we get to some of those way later, chapters in the comic books that they're filling in with the TV series, just doing it differently, right? So those are my kind of thoughts on the whole thing. People say that, but they'll watch anyway, even if they do kill Daryl off and then they continue afterwards. People will be pissed, but I think they'll keep watching. I do think there's a good amount left to see with Daryl, in the show, and it's kind of been established now that he's basically the toughest survivor in the series, especially with the tank and with things like that. Rick fighting against the The governor, for example, is a good example of we've never really seen anybody hand Daryl his ass to him. We haven't seen it. Granted, Rick was shot first and that kind of stuff too. But it kind of appears that Daryl's pretty much the toughest character there is in the show. So I think it's going to be a while before they do it. But when they eventually do it, people will be pissed, but it's going to happen sooner or later. I just think they're going to wait a long time because I do think that all the the fangirls and how much they love Norman Reedus as Daryl is going to keep him around. They may have in the beginning they may have had in mind that they were going to kill him off any time and they just never got to it. They probably never envisioned that he'd be around in season 4 when he was introduced in season 1. But the reaction and how much people love the character, I think, is why they've kept him around. The Merle thing and all of that. But even though all of that's been resolved now, the character's still around. So I think it's going to be a long time. I think somewhere around, like I said, in between like 7, we're starting to they'll start to think about it, I think. And then by like 15, 13, something like that, I think it'll be around almost as long as the TV series will be, unless this turns into like a 20-year type show, which I'd love it if it did. But I just I don't know. There's a lot of factors before we can say anything like that. But anyway, I think Daryl's a fantastic character. He's one of my favorites from the TV series. Shane, Rick, Daryl, Merle. Those characters are pretty much my favorite from the TV show so far. The governor too, great villain also. So I'd like them to keep him around for about at least 7 or 8 seasons. I think by that point we might get tired of seeing him, kill walkers the way he does it, like his unique style. But he's got some cool walker kills if you look at it, like the trunk slam one where he closes the trunk on the walker's head. He's got a lot of creative ones that a lot of the other characters don't have. Pulls the walker out, slams the trunk on its head. That was a cool one. That was a really cool one. And there's a lot of ones like that, little things that he'll do and stuff like that. Or the shot on Mitch was really cool too with the crossbow. So I think there's lots more to see from him, and I think it'll be a while, but eventually they will. And even though people say that they're going to quit watching if Daryl dies, I don't think they will. And I think we will see it eventually. Anyway, let me know what you guys think about the topic. If you think they will ever kill Daryl or not in the TV series. It's going to be a while, but I think they will. That's just my opinion. Just mine. I could be wrong. Could be wrong. Because we don't know how long the show will last. If it gets canceled after 7 seasons, he might still be around by the time it gets canceled. I just hope it doesn't. Anyway, call it here. That's it for this video, guys. I'll see you for the next one. This is Trev, and I'm saying peace.